Why is it important to release the attachment to the result in manifestation? And not just how this relates to the idea of manifesting anything that you want, but also how it relates to your heart's desire and the essence, the energy of what it is that you truly desire. And prioritizing our own state of alignment and connection to source so that we can embody our awakening. So welcome back to another episode on the channel. This was a question that came to me today in a coaching call where someone wanted to manifest a specific outcome. And when it came to the external form of another person, they asked me, well, can I manifest anything that I want? And I was like, well, I don't know. When it comes to a specific person or outcome, the trouble with that, and Neville Goddard alluded to this, I talked about this in one of the other videos, is that when you start attaching to the person, or you start attaching to the outcome, or you start attaching to it needing to be this specific place that you want to live, you're creating a level of importance, you're creating a level of meaning, you're creating a level of attachment to the result. And the issue with this is that it brings us out of just tapping into the essence within ourselves. And this is an issue that I see with some manifestation coaches online and in the sense of kind of doing these affirmations where you want to get them back or have them obsess over you, or you're really like focusing on the external so much. You're focusing on the external of this thing or this person or this place, and you're giving it so much importance. You're giving it so much meaning. And what that does is it locks up the energy. So it's like, can you manifest anything that you want? Well, it's like, can I manifest what I truly desire? Because that's where it's a little tricky, because it's like if you're overly focusing on the external and you're going outside of your own frame, outside of your own alignment with yourself, you're trying to align with something outside. You're trying to align with someone else. You're trying to align with this specific outcome. And it creates this attachment. It creates this like neediness for it to be that thing. But when we let that go, when we give that up to the field, to the universe, and allow the energy to flow, then suddenly it's like this or something better. That's best case scenario, best outcome, right? That's that kind of programming, that kind of expectation into the subconscious mind, or putting it in another word, is creating that momentum within your vibration, right? So release the attachment to the outcome, to the character, to the cloth that the energy is wearing in your reality, and instead focus on your own energy. And that's what I was saying, is that instead of trying to align with someone else, just align with yourself. And inside of that alignment with yourself and raising the standard, raising the bar, raising the level of vibration that you're operating at to the point of a new baseline, of a point of a new normalization, right? A new like equanimity within, not just like affirming, oh, I'm worthy, but like really just like settling in and feeling your worthiness. There's more trust and more surrender and more faith in the universe. So that I feel like that's the other side of intentionality and visualization and affirmation, is really being in a place of surrender, is being in a place of clearing and understanding that if we're obsessing over some kind of specific outcome or person or thing or place or whatever, that we can also be like avoiding our own clearing or healing, if you want to put it in that terminology, because we're still vibrating at a place where we think that this thing is what will make us happy. When we raise our standard and realize that it would be normal for me to experience that love, it'd be normal for me to have those awesome relationships and be seen by other people, it'd be normal for me to live in an amazing place. And yeah, you can tap into that feeling and tap into that vision, allowing the details to fill in, allowing the grid to fill in, right? It's like grid lines, like your focus and your energy. And then when you go general, it's like then the specifics fill in the details. And as those details come in, it's like great, like savoring and enjoying the details, but we're not grasping to the details in order to try to make it happen. Because when we're trying to make it happen, we're coming from an energy of not trusting the universe and trusting that the best case scenario for us is inevitable. So if you want to say the future version of you is existing as a certain vibrational frequency, and it's already done. It's already happened. Creation is complete. So now manifesting it is coming into alignment with ourself, right? So now we're embodying and becoming and giving ourselves the permission to become that version of ourselves. And we're trusting more in the inevitability of our manifestation, of our dream life, of things coming in. And this is something that I'm moving through as well. You know, I'm here and I'm actually staying at a friend's place, and there's another room here that I'm staying in that I came back to Sedona, and I was van lifing it. When I was in California, I really wanted to have a place to ground in coming back here to Sedona, Arizona. And I assumed and felt the feeling and manifested a place that I could trade and actually help fix stuff up and take care of stuff around the house. And they often weren't here. And this has also allowed me to launch my coaching and to work on my music. In a way, it has allowed me to be more even grounded, even more deeply into the creation and my content and stuff like that than when I was on the road, even though I was still like doing it anyways. And now an opportunity is opening up for me to have my own place where I'm renting it and I'm having more flow coming in. And even just like, it's like stuff comes up because this place that has just occurred, it feels like so right and it feels so perfect. But I found myself like going into this like instead of like when it first came in, it was like, oh, this feels so right. Like, and the timing is right. Like everything is right about it. And it feels right about it at least. But I found myself going in, instead of just like knowing that the right thing is, I'm like, oh, cool, another opportunity. That was the first vibe that I had when I came in. I started feeling myself going to that old vibration of like hoping that it works out or like kind of like thinking about it a lot. And I'm like, it's introducing this resistance. And today I saw that vibration come up and I just let it go. And I'm just like, best case scenario, it's no big deal. I'm good either way. If it happens, it happens. If it does, it doesn't. At the same time, this is what I'm manifesting, my own place. If this happens to be the right fit in order to make that happen, that's going to happen no matter what. You know, it's like having more confidence, like even that word, right? Is confidence is invested trust in yourself. Think of the word investment. You're investing in yourself. And the more you invest in yourself, the more that you see those, you build the muscle of the mind and you start seeing these synchronicities and these smaller manifestations going on. And then it's the momentum of it starts to grow. And so I've started to experience that where now it's like I'm shifting into this. I'm like, oh wow, I'm doing what I love. You're like, this is awesome. All these opportunities are opening up, you know? And I've been transitioning. I was doing like Uber Eats and DoorDash for like on and off for a couple years. I had like a web design business on the side. And then I finally felt the shift in myself and started offering my coaching. And then that started taking off and I went and recorded my music. And I'm just feeling like now that like I'm having flow coming in, doing what I love and that actually offers transformation to people. It's like been a very gradual transition. And it's been something that I've kind of avoided talking about because it's like, oh, this dude, like, oh, whatever, you know, like, is that really abundance consciousness? But I let that go because like, I feel like it's more real. It is more real for me to share where I'm at in the journey and what I've been going through. And I've gone through my own versions of doubting whether or not I could do it or just being in these places of like constriction in my finances, and continuously like going in and healing and integrating, but also just raising the standard. Like, it's not just these small increments. It's like literally coming to this place of like raising the bar to the point of like, I look at the idea of judging myself and I'm just like, that's not something I do. Like, why would I? And engaging into another, like allowing your consciousness to expand to the point of faith, like, or the point of just becoming more and more of that new version of yourself, where it's like, it's natural for me now. Like, that's what I realized. Like, now that I've started making more money, I'm like, wow, I'm starting to make more money. This feels right. You know, it's not like what you think. So when even these practices too, like some of these practices that get you all pumped up and get like super excited for your manifestation. But if you're getting super excited for your manifestation, that's the moment when, like, that's the anticipation. That's the moment of the manifestation happening. But think of any time you've gotten something big. How long does the excitement part of the manifestation actually last? Right? Not too long. What happens after you have something for a while is it's just normal that you have it now, right? And so when you're living in the end, you're going to the end, it's like, yeah, that excitement's a part of it. That's a small part of it though. Like, think, like, how would it be like weeks or a month or a year from then when you have that thing that you wanted? It would feel normal. And then as I shifted into this place, I'm like, once it came in, it just felt normal. I didn't feel like a huge difference it was like I had already changed. So then I was a vibrational match to it. So, and this also happens with chasing success, is that the feeling that you think you'll have when you get it, it's a feeling within yourself. So both when you collapse the wave to the particle, when you feel the feeling already inside of yourself, that is the secret of the wish fulfilled. That is the law of attraction, assumption, vibration, whatever you want to call it. Cultural context. And at the same time, the spiritual journey within, of finding our happiness within, regardless of the external, like the deeper essence. Like, we can still have the good things and the new computer or whatever. Like, I'm glad I'm getting a new computer. That's awesome. At the same time, what is that facilitating? Why am I getting that? There's a purpose why I'm doing that, right? The reason that I'm doing that is because I want to serve people on a larger level and be able to have more things so I can multitask and respond to people's messages faster and all that stuff. Like, it's like, what is the purpose? Like, realizing that things are a vessel. That's why, like, chasing money in and of itself is meaningless. And if we don't actually experience a transformation in ourself, then, like, when we get a new relationship, it plays out these patterns where we're like, get a rush for a while and then we're dissatisfied with it. But when we actually transform and change within ourselves, we bring a deeper meaning and kind of resurrect that energy of what we imagine ourselves to be, and why, like the deeper essence of our why and our purpose, and living in our purpose, living in our passion makes us magnetic. Because now, why would you be obsessed with somebody else if you're in your jam, you're in your zone? You know you're fucking awesome. Like, you're doing what you love, and it's like you're natural. It's not like you have to try to love yourself, because you shift into that place of like clearing and letting go and integrating the parts of you. And then now you're in a place where it's like, of course I love myself. Like, that's the new normal. Of course I love myself. Of course I'm abundant. And it's a whole process of like arriving to that point where it's like, yeah, you can give the love to yourselves, but it's not like a desperate bid to try, because you just know that that's who you are inside. And it's the same thing with the worthiness thing, because the money in and of itself is a token. It's a symbol. It's the meaning that we give it. It's how we interact. It's energy exchange. So when we're in our own jam, other people feel that about us. They feel what we're feeling inside. So when we're creating all this importance in others, it's like attachment styles. When you're overly attaching, it creates this resistance. The other person feels it, even psychically, even like telepathically at a distance, even if it's subconsciously. People feel it. They pick up when you're thinking about them. Now imagine money was a person. Wouldn't money feel the same way if you're just like, I need this money? It's like, oh, get away from me. But when you're like, I surrender. I'm in receiving mode. I trust in the universe. I'm worthy of that. It's just like, oh, we're a vibrational match. Money's like, I want to play with you. What's going on? It's like that with love too. It's like masculine and feminine polarity. Like masculine is strong in your temple. That's why people like, it's this whole like spiritual pop culture thing on the frame now. You know, it's like, it's because it's like literally like, it's the structure, right? The structure or the form. Like that's why people are like, oh, they want a strong masculine to support the feminine. We have these energies within ourselves. The feminine is the flow, right? When the structure is solid, the flow feels safe. It's the same thing. When you are solid in your own energetic boundaries and in your own sense of self, you also feel like you can then also, you also feel safe to be connected and a part of the oneness. Then there's this flow of energy and you feel safe in your body, so other people feel safe around you. So then you feel more safe to be authentic, and because it's a mirror, other people feel more safe to be authentic with you, which equals deeper connections. And for me, value system is connection and freedom, expansion, right? And also closeness. Because the value is in our relationships, right? The value is in our experience. All the material stuff, it supports an experience. So like you want to have the experiences. Be in the energy of you that would be like, allow yourself to have your experience now. Instead of saying, like, we do this all the time. We say, if I have this, if I had the money, if I had the person, if I if I lived in the right place, then I would allow myself to have this experience. Putting an experience on a pedestal. Now, if we allow ourselves to have our experience, our life experience now, more and more we free up that bandwidth to attract more of those experiences that we want. Like the things will come to you. That's what I'm seeing is like the more that you're in that trust, the more that you're in that flow, the more that you surrender, the more that you align with yourself. When you align with yourself, you bring all your energy into your body and you align with source within you, into your heart chakra. Clear the energy, integrate, clear the lower chakras, go down, root into the earth, feel yourself, connect to spirit, expand your consciousness and clear your energy. Some people also call that integrating your shadow, or it's like the contrast of like, okay, I don't want this, I know this. Now, these are all techniques, right? One is coming from a healing perspective. One is coming from a making the unconscious conscious perspective. One is coming from a manifestation perspective. One is coming from a clearing subconscious patterns perspective. One is coming from an energy perspective of these things are going on in your aura. Now, everybody, so there's a point in the third eye when you transcend opinionation and you can see that everything is a fractal of one divine consciousness. And that is an integral perspective where you can see the deeper essence that all of these things point towards. When we come into alignment with ourself, then everything else works itself out. Peace and many blessings. Thanks for tuning in. If you've got some value, please hit the thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know what resonated, any ideas or questions you have for future videos. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell if you want to get notified anytime new videos come out. Thank you very much. And also, if you are interested in getting on a limited availability of free alignment coaching call with me to experience and learn how to work more deeply with me, you can book that in the link below. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.